October 29th the day. That was the day that Rebecca went to the library, wasn't it? Okay, we're going further. I'm curious. I hope you're okay. So, alright. The morning after, starts off quiet. I don't remember correctly, he's sleeping on Rebecca's couch. Even the whole of Salem Well residence seems unusually still. The open hallway, when I step out, is devoid of tenants. No sounds coming from the other units either. It's almost as if something's brewing on the horizon. A peaceful night's sleep still does wonders for the mood, though. I can even remember the last time I've slept without anything urgent interrupting. It's a nice break from all the bad news lately. If it wasn't for the insistent buzzing in my pocket wake me up, I'd sleep in. The ringing has stopped before I could move somewhere private, but sleep has also been effectively kicked out of my system by then. Pity. I could have used a little more rest until I have to face the other storm. Of course, I owe Rebecca an explanation. It doesn't matter if it's the whole truth or another hastily spun tale. Although I haven't really figured out how to go about this yet. Unlike Zack and Isabella, who don't usually ask questions and are content with what little I could share, Rebecca's rather quick on the trigger. I have the feeling the two are a bit alike in that remark. It will have to be set aside for later, Tom.
Sup, I'm Ash from Luxbourne City. Baggers, watch out.
Sorry,
Can't beat
it's
me.
funny to
Looking
me.
for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude.
It's funny.
Pretty fly
Right
for
for
an
the
Asian guy.
Asian. Okay,
Sup, I'm Ash from Luxbourne City.
it's me
Baggers, watch
catching.
out. Can't
So the
beat me.
chief's name
Looking for
stares
trouble?
back at me,
Better not
almost as if
lie.
it's
I'm a
mocking
cool
me.
dude. Pretty fly for an
Sad.
Asian guy.
It
Sup,
would have been
I'm
nice
Ash
to
from
just chill
Luxbourne
after last
City.
night, or
Baggers,
maybe
watch
half
out.
listen to the
Can't
news.
beat me.
Sure,
Looking
it's
for
the same
trouble?
thing we've been
Better
doing
not
lately.
lie. I'm a cool dude.
Still
Pretty
be
fly
standing
for an
outside in the
Asian
chilly
guy.
Luxbourne
Sup,
morning
I'm Ash
on
from
the phone with my
Luxbourne
boss.
City. Baggers, watch out. Can't
I'm
beat me.
sad,
Looking
if
for
only to get this
trouble?
over with.
Frey, where are you right now?
At Rebecca's? Now that's a turn I didn't expect from him at this hour. Just thinking how this will go already gives me headache. Immediately, I reach up and pinch the bridge of my nose to stave it off.
This is why I won't ever drink myself senseless.
What was that?
Nothing.
Nothing, Chief. A pleasant morning to you too.
He's probably going to wreck on me or complain about his wife, which is really none of my business unless it affects my case. It seems like the usual rich man cheats on wife deal. Although I would have followed up on it if it was somebody else's wife. But figuring it is the chief's, I trust him to come clean if the missus is related to the right shady dealings. This is why I left before they even hauled the woman out last night. I'm not going to go around investigating cheating husbands and wives when it's probably just that. Chief appears to have a different idea in mind, though.
There's nothing pleasant in the morning. Anyway, where are you? I told you millions of times before to keep your lines open.
He did, and not only him, Zack, Rebecca, Isabella, all of them have said the same thing numerous times in the past. But I was undercover last night. A phone call is the last thing I want to happen when there are other things I need to focus on at the time. Besides, we have radios and work issued phones. Or is he using those channels if this is urgent?
Just woke up, sir. As awesome as it is to hear your voice this morning, it really is early. If you could give me a few minutes just to wake myself up, that'd be swell.
No need for that. This won't take long.
Is something wrong? Am I needed at the precinct ASAP?
Oh no, everything's good over there. Just... Look, kid. Frey. Don't take this personally, alright? You're off the Luxbourne firm case. Starting today.
What? Well, I did not expect to hear that either. This must be some kind of a cosmic joke. I allow some awkward seconds to pass. Chief must be pulling another one of his awful pranks. out of his bad mood or a severe hangover, maybe. Everyone knows that when given a chance, he exercises no control of his drinking. If it wasn't for his wife causing a stir, he'd probably be trashed now and at the party. He likely drank more after they threw her out of the ballroom. Besides, his sense of humor has never been good. It's just infuriating most of the time. But when he doesn't follow it up, if I sound a tiny bit frustrated speaking to my own superior, I am not the one to blame.
Wait, no. What? Are you kidding, Chief? Is this one of your practical jokes again? The temps won't say anything about it, but
It's not that.
Then what
They're
is it?
orders from the higher-ups.
The higher-ups. Yes, my favorite word. Since when did the higher-ups ever get about what the criminal investigation department did? As far as I could tell, they don't give a shit of CID is filled with cold cases. As long as we keep the spending low. When I need a few of those old cases files though, they're locked away in the archives. You're gonna have to check with the higher-ups. I need access to these reports. Really? See if the higher-ups will allow it. Every step, every move in this case. There isn't one that hasn't been gated by some authority. If it's not chief, it's a commissioner. So they always tell me. It makes one wonder why they even bothered assigning to anyone. Not a single one of them has done anything to help move the case. And they wonder why it has taken this long for even a hint of progress to show?
you can't just drop this on me. You can't just take me off like that.
Yes, I can. And I'm sorry, Ashton. You're a good detective. One of the best I've seen in years, but
3 years, Chief. 3 years.
3 years since that enormous tech leak blew up. Since Luke Wright's name was openly linked to several nasty dealings with Luxbourne's corporate world, some of them involving deaths. 3 years, and I was the only one who made it this far. Made much progress that officers with more experience were able to do when they handled this case. Just within a year, and with barely any help from the damn brass at that. Of course, I'll be pissed.
Do you know what would have happened if I didn't work my ass off on this thing? If I didn't dedicate a whole year of my time on it? It would have gone cold, like every fucking case Luke Wright has been linked to. I saved this from getting thrown into the archives, sir. I'm getting close. If you could just...
I'm fully aware of what you've done, Frey. But the Commissioner hasn't been happy with your progress. Still too slow by their standards.
Excuse me?
Too slow? Well, what about those reports I filed? I've documented every freaking thing for them. I've given you every important lead I can gather. Isn't that enough?
They need results, not a bunch of research papers. Not one baseless assumption after another. Concrete proof, Frey. I'm really sorry. They've already made a decision. They're going to pass this on to someone who's been in the force longer. Someone who has more experience.
Someone who has more experience?
They meant nothing by it, but you're still too young to work on a case this big.
Chief, I've already done more than what those old farts ever did behind their desks. All of it, within just a year of being assigned to this.
Watch your language, Frey. Those are your superiors,
I'm not some damn rookie fresh out of training. I'm as qualified as they are.
I understand his fury, really, his frustration. But futile. I know it is futile. They'd never say it within my earshot, but from the very minute I stepped into their precinct, the lot of them had underestimated me. From the stairs alone to the assignment I get. To them, I'm still just a kid, too young, too green, too inexperienced. And once they pull that card on me, every argument I've gets thrown out the window. No matter how logical it is, how much I've accomplished, what the records say, or the amount of work I've put in every investigation they've thrown my
We're
way.
all aware of your skills, kid. You wouldn't have that badge and rank if you weren't good enough. However, this case is just not for you. Too high profile, too risky to put a good
can even hear himself. The reasoning is odd in itself. No one joins this line of work without knowing the dangers of it.
Don't I get a second chance? You said it yourself. I'm a good detective. It'll just be a matter of time before we can close this.
It doesn't matter what I think, Frey. You're off the case, and that's final. I expect all related files and documents on my desk by Monday morning. And don't even try to go touch anything. I know how hard-headed and determined you are.
Chief, please. A few more weeks. I'll have the proper evidence left on your desk by then. I swear it won't take longer than that.
Fred, it's too late, boy. I've already informed the other officers. You aren't to be allowed access until you've been given a new assignment. Hell, just keep out of the precinct, Frey. Take the weekend off.
Seriously, Chief, is this about last night? If this is about me being at that party, I have a good reason for...
You were at the party.
Oops. It makes me boss. He's very tame, subtle careful note in his voice. Slowly, a frown forms in my face, my eyebrows linked together in confusion. Much as I hate to say this about my own boss, there's also suspicion in it. Hard not to think of it that way, seeing how he acted around Hannah Wright last night. Is he worried? Why should he be? Anyone was invited. I didn't doubt for a second why he received an invite. Even if his presence was questionable, there's something wrong and I've unintentionally walked into it. All I have is this sneaking suspicion. But when one looks at this from a different angle, put everything together. Why the hell have I been taking off the case? Might be for the same reason he was there in the first place.
Yes, Chief, I was. For a good reason. What were you doing there? I know we don't have a strict rule against attending functions, but that was...
He coughs, and it almost sounds like he's choking on his own excuses? Lies? I don't want to accuse him of anything yet. He's someone I've respected since I joined LBPT. Even with his bizarre sense of humor and tendency to procrastinate. He's obviously competent enough to get the job done. He wouldn't be Chief Inspector of Luxbourne Police if he wasn't. He wouldn't last years in service without some track record backing him. Unless that too is a fluke. And what's backing him is not something, but someone. Oh shit. Oh. Fucking shit.
Chief Harvey, about last night with the...
Why does it matter, Frey? This isn't about that.
Why does it matter? Why does it matter? I'll recite the whole damn oath we've taken upon being sworn to service if I can. But at this point, it seems too late to remind him of that. He has probably already moved from serving and protecting people to serving and protecting his own interests. Damn it! I suspect the upper brass for this. Even the lower rank subordinates in the force. But from boss? Shit. No wonder that leak didn't lead anywhere. Someone closer might have been pulling the strings. Might have been set up to fail long before the fucking case had been assigned to me. But I don't want to just give this up. I don't want to believe I've wasted an entire year for this. I don't want this to be the kind of news to tell Professor Clark after all those promises I've given the man.
I just want to know, sir, at the party, with Luke and Hannah Wright, you were...
Monday, Detective Inspector. First thing in the morning. Every copy of the files you have, I want to see it all on my table. Understood?
This isn't...
Frey, am I understood?
What else can I do other than smile at Nord? With my own superior expecting an answer, using that tone, brushing my questions off as easy as discharging a dead body.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Oh, Ashton. He cuts the line as soon as the words are out. You're off the case, Frey. Just like that. Funny why this still caught me off guard. I've discovered years ago how different the actual thing is. How far from reality everything I've believed in as a dreamy-eyed kid. There are no high-speed pursuits every day, no thrilling gunfights, or exciting cases every step of the way. Only paperwork, lots of red tape, and dealing with politics and bureaucracy. I set out a chance to change things, hoping it'll make things better for the people I care about. It ended up changing me instead. Serves me right for being too idealistic, I guess. This is probably the universe telling me that it's better to remain the skeptic I really am. Now, here I am, standing useless. Can even do anything but grit my teeth and kick the wall. The bastard didn't even acknowledge my response.
What did the poor wall ever do to you?
Rebecca! It's figures. Rebecca will be the one to find me in this embarrassing state. Honestly, I'm not like it when she sees me like this. She seems to happen a lot regardless of what I want.
Rebecca, now's not a good time.
The concern I expect from her when I turn isn't there, however. She just got back from the library. Instead, she looks, well, the storm I left brewing last night. It's right there on her face, ready to be unleashed.
When is it ever a good time for you? You're always so busy with everything now. Now I find you here, sneaking out without even bothering with a proper goodbye. Not even a word. Really, I'm starting to think you're just keeping me around for my couch and my cooking.
Becca, it's not what you're thinking. I wasn't planning on sneaking out. I was going to say goodbye. I just had to take this call. Although I'm not gonna lie, couch is great. 10 out of 10. Would sleep again.
She still has to go in the library.
Stop it with the jokes, Ashton. I'm not in the mood.
Bitterness is not lost on me. But at this point of friendship in our lives, how does she still expect me to answer that? What am I supposed to tell her now?
Are you still mad about last night?
She merely raised an eyebrow at me, which, to be honest, is all the response I need. Seeing her like this makes me believe those things Seaman says. The part where Rebecca scares him sometimes. I've certainly seen this more than once already. But the familiarity of it doesn't really take away from the downhill turn this conversation is starting to take. An awkward cough serves as a way to stall.
Okay, of course you're still mad. But whatever happened last night, I really am sorry. I'll apologize as many times as you want. If you want, I'd even kneel or something.
Ashton, an apology is nice and all, but that's not what I wanted to hear from you today.
Alright, fine, okay. Where do you want to start?
Oh, I don't know. I've honestly lost track of it by your third trip to the buffet table.
I wasn't... The drive up there took a bit. Can you blame me if I wanted to grab some appetizers?
Oh, come on, Ash! For the whole evening? For the whole party? Please don't tell me that's all you did, because I've never known you as someone who pigs out. You even took great lengths to avoid me. Should I also mention how you ignored Zach? Sometimes I get the feeling you don't want to be seen with us in public. Some friendship, huh?
You know it's not like that. It's never going to be like that, Becca.
I'll ask this again. Just what were you up to during the party? What were you doing that you couldn't even take 2 seconds to make time for your friends?
I couldn't even look her in the eye. It wasn't about wanting to avoid them. I did it to keep Zach safe. To keep Rebecca safe. Just in case. Client or family friend, it was still a party hosted by a person of interest. By a man accused years ago of murdering a person's wife to get what he wanted. What? But then Chief shows up. Hell alright happened, and look, I just can't be bothered to die peacefully somewhere. All of a sudden, none of my original reasons mattered. If I was found out right then and there, Hell, if second Rebecca connections with me was found out, who knows what might have happened. But Rebecca doesn't understand that. Doesn't understand what he can and can't say to keep them from harm. It's all in her eyes, in the tight line of her lips and her furrowed brows. The hurt. This day is just off to a wonderful start. First my case, now Becca. How do I even go about this? Gonna make a save file. The first save file. You will know you're lying, Tom.
It's confidential, Rebecca.
See, she would know we were lying if we took the first one. And she respects his job, so I wonder how many times I've told her that. And not just her. My dad, my mom, Zach, and even Isabella. How many times have I told them what essentially boils down to mind your own business, to make sure they're all safe, to keep them out of danger? My job isn't a game. It isn't as glamorous as the television portrays it to be. I had thought so too as a child. Well, you like Sherlock Holmes. I was so clueless back then, wasn't I? But boy, did I learn. The good guys don't always win. Justice isn't always served. Investigation is not looking at a crime scene once you get a eureka moment. It's sleepless nights at the crime lab with the tech guys. Eureka! It's several days wearing the same clothes with Chinese stakeout stains because I'm staking out the place. It's frustration when bureaucracy hinders you from looking into a case any further, or when you know the suspect is guilty, but they get away scot-free on a technicality. It's seeing anger and pain and despair with every case.
I know you have a mountain of questions, but I've told you this so many times before. I can't say much more than that.
Still, to look on Rebecca's face, the resentment and the pain, it hurts me as well. To think that I'm the cause of that. It's a familiar one, too. Something I've seen a lot over the years. I wonder how long it'll take before Zach starts giving me the same one. Or until I've hurt Isabella in a way that any sincere apology won't ever be enough. What a mess. I'm a mess, and it's the people close to me who have to suffer for it.
I guess, if that's the case, there's nothing much I can do about it. You're off being a... what? A hero, I guess? And I shouldn't rag on you for that.
I could never get used to how quick she just forgives me for whatever shitty thing I do. Second Isabella too. They've all been patient with me. Like I with them. I don't deserve any of them for the kind of person I've turned out to be.
I'm hardly a hero, Becca. I'm just... Ash.
I expect a retort, another one laced with bitterness. Instead she laughs. Half-hearted, with very hint of cheer in it, but it's a laugh nevertheless. I honestly don't know what to make of that. What do I do with myself upon hearing it? It's almost like the mere sound of it is meant to pierce.
The least you could have done is tell me. Maybe I could have helped, kept an ear and an eye out for you. I don't know. I could have been Irene Adler, maybe?
Her smile doesn't quite reach her eyes, but the mask. She tries so hard for me. I give her a smile of my own, so I imagine it comes off as unenthusiastic as hers. It's far easier to slip back to banter when it's like this. To just brush everything off. At least this way, we wouldn't have to deal with awful things.
The woman? Don't flatter yourself. Nancy Blue, more like.
Her sidekick would beg to differ, Ashett.
Couldn't stop a wry grin from frothing on my lips. She probably still has a photo from the contest. Keeps in her old diary. I never did find either of the two after I threatened to burn them. In the end, I just never brought it up again. hoping she'd just forget about the whole thing. But the small smile on her face says a lot. Those are good times. A lot simpler, a lot more peaceful. Now things have changed. We're no longer the same people we were as kids. Growing up together doesn't mean it always has to be just the two of us in the first place. It's a dumb notion to believe in. When nothing ever remains constant, things will inevitably change through the years. In fact, what he has long ago, not just with the people who allowed into our respective lives, but also with us, as people, as friends. It really does get complicated as you get older, doesn't it? Not everything has to be told. Even if it's in the form of a promise, I have no idea when I'll be able to fulfill.
I swear, I'll explain when it's all over.
Promise, Ashton? The silence afterwards brings an even heavier air between us. Something that Rebecca, thankfully, not allowed to linger more than necessary.
I suppose you have to go now, huh?
The situation, already awkward as it is, dragging this out will only make it more... what? Difficult? Messed up? As if it isn't already.
Back to your case again?
I don't really have to. I have no case, as far as the job is concerned. I have the weekend off until I have to report to Chief on Monday. Although I don't want to just throw in the towel on this. Orders are orders. This isn't like the movies. I don't get to say, fuck off, throw my gun and badge at him, become some vigilante, save the day and get my job back. I'd rather get my ass thrown in jail than do anything of that. But it's also not in my nature to sit still and do nothing. It'll drive me crazy if I just idle about. Besides, there's someone who has to know about this whole Luke Wright thing.
Yeah, I need to go talk to Professor Clark. And there's something else I need to look into.
That other matter she mentioned last night specifically. That same stuff Zachary has also been trying to tell me. Things even the news have been blasting out to the general populace lately. Evening, afternoon, morning, all deaths with the same modus, blamed on a single serial killer. Or is it still the case?
Found dead in the early hours of the morning today. The fire was contained within the room and no other tenants were harmed, according to Luxbourne police.
We're grasping at straws as far as these murders are concerned. In the first place, I'm not even the one heading this investigation. Yet look at me, treating as if it's another high-profile case on my shoulders. How sad is that? Although all three of my friends have mentioned seeing something strange. I don't want to go into that line of thinking for now. Not yet. Not until I've exhausted every logical argument I could throw at it. To be honest though, I don't know how to take all of this anymore. But I've already given Isabel my words. It'd bother me more if I didn't follow up on the promise I made to her. I know Rebecca's claims last night. There won't be enough sarcasm in the world if what my friends have been telling me is true. I can already hear Isabel's laughter, in fact.
Figures. What else can it be?
It's not another case. It's something else. That issue Isabella mentioned yesterday morning. I'm sure you remember. You were there.
Well, at least you're not neglecting all your friends.
Becca, I promised her I'll...
She doesn't wait for me to finish. With a roll of her eyes, she turns around and shuts the door in my face. I have no idea what I've said this time, but...
I probably deserve that.
Well, just have to fix this some other time. By then, her temper's sure to have cooled off significantly. Hopefully. For now, I can't laze around. Gotta attend to the things that matter more. Professor Clark first, deliver the bad news. Then that issue with BRC and Isabella. Maybe I'll also drop by Zach's. Check on him. Hear what he has to say. He has also read that damn letter. he had also been saying odd things about a bunch of photographs. I might as well, while I'm here, playing a paranormal detective. Or was it supernatural? I can't remember. Oh yeah, join D. Sam and Dean Winchester, please. Or call them. Whatever. It won't hurt anyone if I try to get to the bottom of this. If nothing comes out of this, good. Everyone can shut up about stupid curses and we can finally get back on track of our lives. On the more important stuff. If there is something...
Are you two done?
There's a moment of confusion when I don't see a familiar ponytail about. Only to find her standing behind the door to her apartment seconds later. Isabella's hold is open, though only slightly, as if to hide from anyone who might happen to pass by. This early, on a lazy weekend? I doubt anyone would. But from the gap and what little light there is behind her, I could make out the appearance of someone who has just clearly gotten out of bed. Hair in complete disarray, eyes still heavy with sleep, and a small pout on her lips. She hasn't even gotten out of her pajamas. I look away long before my sense of decorum kicks in. We might be friends, I even dare say we've grown close over the years, but that doesn't extend beyond the bounds of propriety. Christ! And Rebecca never greets early visitors in her sleep clothes. He's blushing. But maybe it's our fault, why she's up this early. Still, heat makes a slow claw up my neck. One that I quickly downplay with a solid cough.
Isabella, you're up early.
Lame.
No, I'm not. I'm usually up at this hour. You're the one that usually sucks at getting up early.
Says the person who looks like she's just fallen out of bed.
Instead of the usual quip, she simply averts her gaze to some point beside her. And although it only flashes briefly across her face, an expression of hurt flickers in her eyes. It disappears the second she turns her attention back to me, but the moment has sent a weird twinge in my stomach. I've seen it on her plenty of times before, just never in a manner that unsettles. It feels, I don't know, off this time? I didn't say anything wrong, did I?
Hey, are you...
Anyway, was that Becca with you? You both sound like Mama and Papa when they fight. You're awfully loud. If we get another memo from the landlady, I'm asking the guard to ban you from ever entering this place.
Me? Becca's the one almost shouting.
Yeah, well, she lives here. You don't. You have no excuse. You're the suspicious-looking person.
Thanks. Glad at least one person appreciates how I pretty up this place.
Don't flatter yourself. This place would be so much better without having to see your face every few days.
She follows it up with another pout. But her ruffled appearance, particularly how puffy her eyes are, and how did just now, takes away from the intimidating fact she's trying to show. Really, right now she just looks more like an angry puppy. I might have laughed had it not given me another nagging sense that something's definitely wrong with her. What? Has she been crying earlier? That is worrying. She rarely does that. The only time it happened, the one time I've ever seen her generally tear up over something, I think it was after Devlin caught the night at the bridge. I want to ask. She seems determined to keep it to herself too.
Belle, did something...
About yesterday, Ash. The things we talked about. Do you think we can take a look at it today?
We? I never said you're coming with me. Don't worry, I didn't forget about it. You'll be the first to know if I find anything.
No, I want to go with you. I'll be ready in a few. This won't take long.
Isabella, you really don't have to. I can handle it on my own. You'll just...
I won't get in the way, I promise. Besides, maybe I can help. You know, if there are files you want to check.
I don't don't like what she's implying. It's true, LBD's having a hard time with this, but taking Isabella with me, it's out of the question. Under normal circumstances.
You're the one who's going to get in trouble if you do that.
You said it yourself. You need information, and I can help you get that. And it's not like it matters anymore. I just don't want to stand around doing nothing today.
There it is again. The slight shift in her eyes, the mild crease forming between her eyebrows, and the mild slump in her shoulders while she crosses her arms tightly around herself. Like she's shielding herself from whatever painful thing there is out there. I have plenty of reasons why I shouldn't let her tag along. First and foremost, she is a civilian. Second, I have no concrete plan of action yet. I'm going into this blind. No matter how I look at it, it's simply better for her to just wait so she won't dragged into what might be one of my failures. Her assumptions might be a dead end for all we know, but seeing that expression on her, hearing her speak those words out loud in a desperate, almost pleading tone, I can bring myself to say no. I just can't. So I give in, because right there I see myself in her, the person who doesn't want to stay idle, who doesn't want to think of the problems haunting him.
All right, 5 minutes.
What? You're timing me?
Well, I can't wait forever. I'm a very busy guy. 4 minutes and 45 seconds, Isabella.
I hate you so much. I'm taking back what I said last week. You haven't changed at all.
4 minutes and 30 seconds, 29, 28.
27.
I'd hurry if I were you.
Ugh, you're awful. I hope you never get a girlfriend.
She slams the door right after, although my chuckles, the mirth and the lightness in it linger. With her, those have always come easy somehow, even as it echoes fade and only the ghost of a smile remains.
It's not like I'm looking for anyone else.
I want to tell her. It's not because I can't. I won't. I'm the one who has chosen not to. Until I fix myself. Until I find myself beneath all that guilt and those lies I've been telling all these years. Because no matter how heavy the weight of these feelings are, I'm not yet worthy of them. Of her. Until then, little words and gestures are the only things I can offer. Minor stuff such as digging deeper into this thing with BRC in order to ease her worries. I'm not even sure if this will give us anything. Unlike of the firm case, which I already have proper leads on, I'm just going by word on this. Speaking of the Luxbourne firm case, I still have to inform the professor. The apprehension there for sure. I've made a lot of promise to the man, and I would have preferred to tell him in person, not over the phone, but it's better for him to hear it from me rather than from a stranger. The ratings offer a steady support while I wait for him to answer. I like to think I can do this without losing my nerve. My grip on the bars surely tightens once the call connects.
Ashton,
Not running today, Professor?
He's usually at the park on late Saturday mornings. As long as he isn't training cats and dogs. Keeps him young and healthy, he says, and he's certainly a fit for a man of his age with a sedentary job.
oh no, not today.
He's definitely the usual place, Tom. Cheers and laughter, likely from children and families, filter through the receiver. I tend to avoid the park precisely because of this. No use reminding myself of the could-haves when it's already over. Mom's doing well with her career. Dad's also fine the last time I visited. Although neither remarried, they're both content with their lives as it is. I'm probably the only one still caught up with it, hence my aversion. But all in all, it's still a pleasant sight to see, if it contradicts joining such sites like Professor Clark does.
Just thought I'd enjoy the nice weather before it takes a turn for the norm again. To what do I owe the pleasure?
The guy certainly seems happy right now. In any case, I almost don't want to break the news to him, but it's better get it off quick as long as he doesn't shoot the messenger. He's not the type, however. Long-held resentment can change a person, even someone as mild-mannered as Professor.
I was hoping to talk to you about the case.
I suppose I'm just a downer today. As soon as I say those words, he pauses and the lightness in his voice is gone in an instant. Every time we've talked about this in the past, he does that. He's probably trying to gauge the situation based on the tone of my voice. Perhaps it's a good thing I'm delivering this news through the phone. Who knows what he'll see in my face at my mannerisms. The art of keen observation? I learned it from this man. He probably already has an idea what this might be about, from my manner of speaking alone.
You aren't in trouble, are you?
For a second, I hesitate, looking at the dirt beneath my shoes. But I manage. Eventually. Sorry, I'm getting tired. Right. But I manage eventually. After a long, ragged draw of breath, I pick up where I left off. Though still fumbling with my words.
Well, I'm in a bit of trouble, if you can call it that.
Ashton,
He only assumes that tone when there's a reprimand at his heels.
But I'm not in danger or anything.
you've said that same excuse a million times before, Detective Inspector. That exhausted rasp in your voice tells a different story.
It's nothing like what you're thinking. Don't worry. I was just... I was taken off the Luxbourne firm case.
I expected anger, frustration, maybe even disappointment, but all he gives me is a small sigh of relief.
Is that so? Well, at least you aren't in danger. Liz wouldn't be too happy if she heard you right now.
Liz. Aunt Liz. She insisted I call her. His late wife. Oh, a sweet-tempered woman by so many standards. They were never oppressive kids and content herself with simply manage her bakery. But she's the closest I had to a mom in a few years. I had known her, the few years I'd known her. The professor too. In the absence of my own parents in my life, the two filled the ache that divorce left in me.
Believe me, you'd get an earful. You don't want to show up at her doorstep looking like you haven't slept a wink either.
How many years has it been since? How many? 9? 10? I can still remember it vividly. 2 men, primly dressed, briefcase in hand, and a stern look on each of their faces. They were already frequent visitors to the bakery for a few months. Something about the lot being a prime property in downtown Luxbourne. I think they were hoping to settle a deal with them, but neither of the couple gave in to their demands. Why should they? That quaint little shop was a dream for them. Aunt Liz sent me home early that night after a fruitless fate for the professor. The next morning, news of a bakery race to the ground had spread across the whole city. 1 casualty. A few weeks later, property was sold to Wright Enterprise. That explains his anger towards Luke, and especially Professor Clark, why he hates them so much. The fucking hotel now stands in its place. Of course, an investigation was launched after the incident. The name Luke Wright was briefly at the center of it, but with the lack of any evidence, the case ultimately went cold. The Professor hides it well, however I can tell that he hates the man to this day. He might even blame Luke Wright for every tragedy that happens in the city. He has never blamed me at all, and I am as equally responsible. I knew some things off the moment those men stepped inside the shop. I could have saved her that night. I could have prevented anything from happening to her, called for help or whatever. I didn't. So it continues to eat at me until today. You know, the guilt? The Luxbourne firm case would have been our chance at reopening that old case, if we could prove Luke right of his crimes. Instead, we're back at square one. Yet, all he has for me are words of comfort. To think he can still be this concerned about me, after my carelessness, after I've broken all the promise a second time. People never cease to amaze me.
You might think that you have failed as an officer. Or maybe you think that you have failed me. And you know more than anyone. I would love to see that man taken down. If anyone deserves to be tried in high court, it's him. But I'm glad nothing's happened to you while you were working on this. That's what's most important. I'd hate to get news like that again.
Suddenly, he stops. I imagine a thoughtful look flashing in his eyes as he thumbs a wedding band on his ring finger before he continues. Another habit. He has never removed it since that day, has never thought once to remarry, even when he managed to continue with his life and return to some semblance of normalcy. It's his way of honoring her, I suppose, when he couldn't bring to justice the man responsible for his loss. Some people are just hard to forget.
It's not like another death. Yours or even his will bring back my wife.
Silence falls between us afterwards. I don't quite know what to say after that, really. Should I apologize? Show some sympathy? Going into this, I should have thought of something other than just breaking the news to him. As it is, it seems the only thing we can do is feel sorry for each other's misfortunes.
I apologize too for putting you up to this.
In another occasion, under different circumstances, I might have accepted that, but
You didn't have to, but you've already done more than any officer who has investigated this. So don't worry about this, old man. I know your department's people all have their hands full recently too. What with the upsetting news we've been getting as of late. Deaths almost every day. I'm not entirely sure if that has anything to do with the other. It seems too big even for someone like him. But if this is that man's doing,
Professor, please.
maybe if things around me hadn't started going beyond my control, the letter, the mention, the supposed gas behind those, I'd still be quick to blame it all on the bastard too. But as much as I want to keep holding him responsible for it, to add another to his list of sins, it might not be the case. Agreeing will only cut a deeper wound on the professor. I don't want him to keep clinging to this resentment for much longer. He has already gone through so many years of it. This kind of anger, it's sorts that blinds people. Despite his reassurance, the bitterness still seeps into every syllable he utters. It's one thing for me to act like this. It's painful to watch someone I've considered a second father go down to this path.
Please don't apologize. It's really alright. I can try to get it back on Monday when I meet with the chief. No promises, but if not, I'll make sure to keep an ear out for any news. Chief said he's passing it on to a senior officer. I should be able to catch a few tidbits every once in a while. But I swear I won't just give up on this. I'll do everything in my power to get Aunt Liz's case reopened for you.
Promises. Again, bad habit at this point. I wish I could do more for him. All this, I've prided myself over being the one to always know. Because suddenly, aside from Wright and the murders plaguing the city, I've ghosts and curses to worry about. Things are completely out my depth. Professor Clark's right in some way. Things would be so much easier if he just blamed Luke Wright for all of this. At least finding evidence will be a breeze, and I'd be all too happy to put him in place he belongs. Although, if he was, in any way, also complicit to what's happening, legalities have my hands tied. But maybe that's my fault. I might have missed a ticket to closing the case once and for all last night. If only I had done a better job during the party. But then, the commotion. There was Hannah Wright and Rebecca's distracting me from my purpose too. I'd include that gate crasher as well, even though it's only for a moment. So many things have gone wrong last night, Dad.
This isn't a prank! I saw something! See? This is why I didn't want to tell you guys. It's not a joke! Will you guys listen to me first? I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me. If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have...
Last night, at the party.
But it's real! What do you think I saw? It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing. We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
That woman.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her.
If that was what Isabel had been warning us about, if it was the same thing Rebecca talked about last night, or what Zack told me about a few days prior, how many of these instances have I dismissed since reading the letter? How many have I ignored and passed off as some effect of fatigue or lack of sleep? Even last night, a hallucinogen lacing the food is the first thing I considered, purely because that's what my training dictates. It's a mindset I've grown used to. It's a setting the gears in my head automatically takes in a situation like that. Of course, I'm not discounting all of that yet until I have enough information. Something to form a conclusion from. Proof in whatever form it may come. But thinking straight is impossible when all of a sudden all your beliefs are being upturned in the most final way possible at that. Jesus, I need a sounding board. I need to talk to someone and Zack's the best person for that.
I have to go, Professor.
Oh, no problem. But what are you...
I don't have time to stop and listen to what the professor has to say, as I got to call short. In the same second, Isabella emerges from her apartment, fully dressed and ready for the day. As usual, she greets me with a smile, but falls just as fast once she catches a glimpse of my face. Shame. That would have been the first comforting thing I see today. It annoys me that I am partially responsible for it one replacing it. I must look close to a picture of someone choking or dying, because there's nothing but concern the first word she speaks.
Ash, are you... Do you need to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, no, I don't, okay? But we should hurry. Come on, don't forget to lock your door.
Seriously, you look like you're about to fall over. Are you alright? Because if you're planning to faint right here, I won't be able to carry you.
Yes, don't mind me. I just remembered some stuff from last night. I need to talk to Z-Man about this. Mind if we drop by his place first?
Shouldn't we call him? To let him know? It's still pretty early. But we'd probably arrive there around noon. Also, what do you mean about this? Is Zach...
He was also there when I opened the letter, right? He read it too. I'm sure he's fine, but it wouldn't hurt to check on him. To make sure. See if he'll say the same things you told me yesterday.
If he's also seeing these things. If it's also the same woman I saw last night.
I'm not saying there's really a curse yet, but we have to look at this from every possible angle. And don't worry, he won't mind. He's probably just watching TV right now. Let's go.
Okay, but speak up if you're not feeling well. You really look like you're choking on something. You didn't have to do this for me in the first place.
You know it's not as simple as that.
Come on, scaredy cat. We head down to my car in record time. Not a single second waits to hit the road and drive to Zach's place. If any one of us, other than Isabella, who knows anything about what's going on, who can help sort the muddled mess my mind is? It's got to be him. He listened to her. Zach's the kind who prefers to laze around his apartment on the weekend, especially after having a busy week like the last one. The big guy is nowhere in sight or not arrived in his unit. Figures will not seem to be where they should be when I need them. Looking around, I find no sign where he might have gone to. He usually leaves a note on his fridge if he's out for the day, just in case someone drops by. As there isn't one, he probably just went out for a quick walk. I hope. Maybe he ran out of eggs or something and went out to buy some. He is out of eggs after all. It puts my running mind to rest for a while. How did you know he's out of eggs? He always has to have some, be it for an omelette or something he's baking.
Ash, should you be rummaging around? It's bad enough we went in here without asking for his permission.
Chill, I'm just looking.
Actually, I could also go for a fucking pie right now, but Zach's fridge is next to empty. Safe for a few leftovers. All I can do is sigh as I close it behind me.
If you see me take anything, feel free to call the police.
Isabella's quick to shoot me a sharp glare. Another chuckle slips from me, despite unease in my stomach. But the cheer only lasts a mere few seconds. Mostly because she hasn't been... Oké, lievie. Ga je slapen? Oké, kom zo, cool? Sorry, my husband is going to sleep. I'm going to follow him soon. But the cheer only lasts a mere few seconds. Mostly because she hasn't been in the mood for any sort of friendly banter. It's the silence that's telling, and quiet Isabella. It's usually the first recipe for an incoming shitstorm.
Do you always do this whenever you visit another person's house? Because I have a lot of questions about your methods.
Just with Zach.
I'm still worried for our friend, of course. And despite what's bothering Isabella, she's anxious too. She's been standing by the doorway for a few good minutes now, since we entered Zach's place. In fact, doesn't seem to know what to do with herself. But much as I want to put her at ease, her nervous tics are starting to get to me. The manner in which she makes herself smaller, the way she pushes with her hands, grasping them one moment and unfurling them in the next. It's distracting enough that I want to ask what's wrong. I doubt she'd give me a straight answer to, and the best I can do is help temper it.
You don't have to hang around the door. You might be here for a while. You can sit down.
We hesitates for a second, but eventually takes the empty seat by Zach's study table.
Aren't we going to look for him?
Sure, we can, but where are we going to start? I can think of a few places he might be, but Luxbourne's a big city. I don't want to miss the big guy if we leave, and...
I'll trail off, making a vague gesture in the general direction of Zach's bed. The messy bed suggests he was out in a hurry. He didn't even bother to fold the sheets. His cell phone's been left behind as well, Another odd thing when he has made it a habit to never leave it behind in case a client calls.
At least the locked door points to the fact that it wasn't a forced exit.
That seems to reassure her, but not so much. Understandable. Anything might happen. In hindsight, I shouldn't have left Rebecca alone either. We'll have to check on her later. In the meantime, Zach, but with no other clue where he is and no other way to contact him, we have no choice but to wait. Sure, I could give the room another thorough run-through, but I don't think Zach would appreciate me upending his place. Isabella won't let me do that either. Besides, I haven't eaten anything yet. Isabella probably hasn't too. We did leave in a hurry. Might as well take this chance to cool down a bit, right? Anything to distract myself so that I don't just charge ahead first because of whatever paranoid shame that comes to mind. Isabella is with me. I can't be reckless. Returning to the kitchen, the first thing I see is a bag of chips when I riffle through his cupboards. After muttering a permission and an apology its owner weren't here, I grab it. Isabel doesn't miss shooting me another glare, but she doesn't really make an effort to stop me this time. She ignores my offer for food though. So instead I set myself on Zach's old couch and turn on television. Isabella's silence may not be too heavy, but it sure as hell is awkward. The screen lights up while there's some awful noontime drama starts airing on Channel 9. Nothing like sitting in front of the TV with a mindless drone running in the background to waste away the time. And waste it away we do. The afternoon has hit its last few hours when movement comes from the other side of the door, and Zach's heavy treats break the monotonous trifle from the TV. The lock clicks, the knob turns, and slowly it swings open to reveal a very exhausted looking Zach. Zach! What? Did he run a marathon?
Sup, Z-Man?
Hey, Zach. Sorry we just barged in here. Ash was...
Relax. Z-Man gave me a copy of the key himself.
Light as my tone might be, his arrival eases the restless edge in me. Who knows what I would have done if something bad happened to one of my friends? If another minute had gone by without him showing up, I might have resorted to unconventional methods.
Only after you broke the 13th one? I can't keep replacing them every time you think it'd be a good idea to break into my apartment. And stop calling me Z-Man!
I didn't break anything this time.
Ash, just because I gave you a key doesn't mean you can just stroll in here whenever you want to. And hey, is that my...
Yeah, it's your chips, man. It's scary how the friendly banter and easy smile come naturally. I do it, even without thinking, and that speaks volumes about how comfortable I am around him. That's nice, isn't it? What makes me afraid of it, however, is the idea that a time might come where I might just do this without even meaning to and offend him in some way. The friendship we have might be closer than most I've shared with others, but there are boundaries he can cross without the other's permission. Zach's been respectful of that so far, neither asking about my parents or what happened to them. Me? I bet it'd say not so much. It's also this easy bond that makes me wish we could just stay like this. No worries, no problems, just potato chips and debate on whether or not I deserve them. But as usual, something always got moments like this short.
Of course he eats all of it. You know, I was saving that for the weekend. Did you at least share some with Bella?
Don't worry about it. I'm good, Zach.
Really? It's free food, you know. What was that you usually say? You don't say no to free food. happened?
No, I'm just not hungry.
Although a tone forces him to do a double take, Zack doesn't push it. The question all too clear in his eyes when he glances my way tall. I really wish I could answer him. Despite my best efforts, Isabel's been unforthcoming as well. What am I supposed to do? I can just force her to speak, can I? She's not a criminal to be interrogated. She's a friend, for Pete's sake. It's a good thing Zack has a better handle of the situation than I, and soon enough he changes the subject. Where it leads to isn't necessarily the better topic, however.
Aye. But if you want something, just say so. I've got a fully restocked pantry right here at your disposal. Still not a 5-star level thing, but for an empty stomach, it'd do. Just say the word.
Thanks, Zack. Maybe next time. Food is not really what we came here for. Ash, he's the one who...
She stumbles into one of her uncertain silences again before glancing my way. There's a plea in there for me to take the lead this time. But where do we start? The mansion? The strange things we've been seeing? The letter? Even I am afraid of what he might say. I can't even believe I'm considering taking a deeper look into this whole thing in the first place. But here I am.
No, you're right. There really are some odd things going on here lately.
How is everything with you lately, Zack?
Hold on, Ash. Both of you. Did I just hear you say that? Is this why Isabella's here? Has something happened?
Calm down, we're just here to check on things. So, did you meet Andrew about the photos?
What photographs?
Unlike when he brought up the subject of photos with me, he doesn't hesitate when Isabella asks for it. Zack hastily fishes them out of a nearby drawer and hands it to her. I can almost see it in him the 1 second hindsight kicks in, and the realization that she would have been a better listener than I. Makes sense, when all I've been doing until this morning is called a Halloween prank. She goes through each of the prints in silence, her shoulders growing stiffer by the second until she has gone rigid and pale. But it's the telling glances they exchange afterwards that speaks volumes of the things running inside their minds.
What did Andrew say about them?
It could be one, but there's no guarantee it's a supernatural thing. It doesn't always happen. So, that's a dead end right there. Now that I think about it, bothering that guy for this feels pretty silly now. But with the dreams lately...
That's all? Did he say anything about the damn letter at all? Did you ask him even?
As expected, Zack starts to look at me like I've grown a second head. Yeah, I would too, if there was ever a universe where I was standing in front of myself. Because, even as a child, I never believed in ghost stories. The lucky charms and mystical objects of my mother have often been stored away, or given as paltry gifts to those who would appreciate them more.
Yeah, that's really everything. The letter kind of slipped my mind. The photos were more important at that time. There was some stuff about the local horror stories, though. Talked about the curses, and he was really fascinated with the story about a wraith asking for a sacrifice to move on. Kinda nasty if you ask me, but it does make sense if you simply go along with it. I'm not sure how this will help in the grand scheme of things. Why are you asking about this anyway?
Rose's death isn't just a coincidence, Zack. It may have something to do with... I may have...
Wait, stop right there for a sec, Bella. I thought you ain't buying this stuff, Ash. Just the other day, you said the exact same thing.
Granted, I haven't eliminated every single possibility here yet. But what else is there to go off on from here? The worried look Zack shoots my way doesn't help one bit in help me gather my thoughts either, when that's what I came here for. Somehow everyone's suddenly just worried about me. It's not like I'm pulling this out of my ass.
I still don't, but even Rebecca, out of all people, claims there's something. Whatever this is, someone has got to look into it. Everything about this screams shady.
And along with Isabel's warnings. What's occurring around Zach? What's happening around Luxbourne since Isabella found the letter?
Have you two seen the news this morning?
Zach's puzzled expression is enough answer. Oh, of course he hasn't. Another night, another nightmare. The guy most likely went out as soon as he got out of bed to shake the image off. The memories have never really left him. Isabella too?
I haven't, actually. Mama called, and I was busy.
That could easily mean anything. Did her Kuya, her older brother, end up in jail again? She's had to bail him out numerous times in the past. So all that did was piss her off, not snap out every ounce of cheer in her. Or is it that other brother, the younger one, who keeps insisting that he'll quit school so she could come home? That was 2 years ago, Tor, as far as I know. She already sorted that one out. It couldn't have been her father, right? With the mansion sale, she has earned enough to cover every bill for a while. Well, it should. So, what is it then?
No problem. It should be in the afternoon news as well.
Whatever's bugging her, I doubt it's something meant for casual discussion. Else she would have mentioned it sooner. Bugging my curiosity for later, I take the remote and begin cycling through the channels. A distraction? Not a good one, I admit, but it's definitely better than leaving her to brood. Eventually, I find one doing a recap of this morning's reports. And there it is. The poor guy is unidentifiable with how badly his body's been burned. Murder via arson. That's a logical explanation if I was the officer looking into it. Except they couldn't find the source of the fire. The fire didn't even spread.
Found dead in the early hours of the morning today. The fire was contained within the room and no other tenants were harmed, according to Luxbourne police.
They're going to consider spontaneous human combustion soon enough, if they don't find anything else. But what's important for everyone to note is the state of the room.
A similar writing was found in another victim's room from last week's incident. Both were employees of Briar Realty Corporation. LBN has reached out to the...
Like what happened to Cooper. Oh, I wonder how many other deaths like this that I've missed while I've been looking into right. The LAPD is already thinking he's a serial killer at this point. How long until they consult with the London Metropolitan? I'm not sure. The Anston Butcher has always been an enigma even to the people within the city. Gone for a few years, then the next, one body after another is found. Merely hanging the case has apparently driven the chief inspector insane years ago. He never did find out who committed these murders. Maybe now, this time.
This is because of that thing, isn't it? I did this somehow.
Her words all come out like a whisper, but each syllable lingers in the air, heavy with her guilt. In the thick tension of the room, they strike harsher than any of the things you've said. However, she also has to understand, know that she isn't the only one in this. No one has asked her to take this upon herself. Rebecca won't. Zach won't. I sure as hell won't.
It ain't too late. We could still fix this. There's 3 of us here. 4 if you count Rebecca.
No, she's staying away from this. I don't want to involve her in this any more than I already have. Both of you as well.
I already said it. That's completely out of the question. Stop asking.
Encouragement aside, this is still a whole fucking mess and we're in it blind. The only way to make it worse is if we start running around like a bunch of hatless chickens. But I have a concrete plan now. think. Maybe Isabel's right. Maybe we should dig deep into PRC itself. Maybe we are looking at it the wrong way. However, my suspicions are mine for the moment. The details are something Seth doesn't need to know until I have something to show. It's another teaser bear that I have an idea in mind. For his part, Seaman doesn't push it, and nothing but a happy silence leads our departure hours later. Seriously, Seth could probably make a more responsible officer than me if he only had the heart to join the force. We could certainly use more kind people like him. But as good as that thought is, I push all of it into the back of my mind, and as Isabella and I head for my car. Tonight I can stay distracted, except for a few half-hearted attempts to get some kind of reaction from Isabella. The driver to PRC is quiet, and awkward affair, I must say, the hour-long wait for nightfall. Even with only the two of us, the place is rife with tense energy, only a matter of minutes now. But the ticking seconds don't take away the edge, and for the 5th time I reach out and fiddle with the radio, adjusting and doing the knobs with no real purpose. It's a nervous quirk I've developed and never bothered to correct during stakeouts. Something to keep my mind occupied during long nights. What else is there for me to do? The person I usually count on for a casual out of the blue chat refused my attempts at starting one.
Ash, out with it! If you have something to say.
The way she quickly falters into silence after, in spite of the tone she takes though, it makes me doubt if she really means everything she's telling me right now. She hasn't even glanced my way since we arrived.
Having second thoughts? You can still back out if you want.
We're just going to my office. Why should I?
Dunno. You can get in trouble maybe. This isn't exactly legal.
Scope PRC out, see if the real estate company has any more information that may be of help. Find things about Cooper and the other agents assigned to the Ermengarde Mansion. According to Isabella, it's the last property the victims have worked on. Sure, I could also check the station for help reports. That's the easy, semi-legal way. But I don't want to bump into Chief right now. The guys at the precinct will definitely throw me out in his orders as soon as they see me. Not my plan right now is any better. I'm just breaking into a different place, more or less, with a civilian to boot. The latter still doesn't sit well with me. It never will, especially if this might put her in a very tricky position afterwards. She's been very careful when it comes to her work. Almost a model employee, as people would say. Why is she throwing caution to the wind now?
I'm not an employee here. I'm not supposed to be looking for any confidential stuff. Only people like you are privy to.
If you mentioned earlier that this is your plan, I might have had enough time to think about it. I already promised to help if you need access to those files. I didn't think you'd want to see them this soon and in this way.
What do you think? Ashton wants to go quick?
Besides, the same goes for you, right? You were taken off your case. Won't you get in trouble with your boss?
Honestly, it's a toss-up between breaking into her office or into the Wright's mansion. As it stands, I'll have an easier time getting in here first. After all, why would someone want to break into a reality company? Been here many times before anyway, for a few casual visits when I want to buck scaredy cat. Over the years, I have more or less grown familiar with their security setup and how badly staffed they are. Plus, it's an old building. If the bankruptcy rumors are true, it just means that access protocols might also be outdated.
Still, I can do this on my own, you know.
Really? And how are you even planning to get into our office without an access card? Please explain.
Well, I was going to pry open the card reader and use a gecko.
You're a hopeless case. I really want to know why no one has locked you up yet.
Yet you're helping me with this. Willingly. I don't think that'll sit well with the Philippine embassy either. Chances are you'll probably get deported the minute they find out.
Low blow, I know. But it's worth a shot when she can still turn back. It's not that I don't have any means to get into the place. With or without her, I have a way.
At least I have a reason to be snooping about. My badge and rank can speak for me in case things go south. You?
For a passing second, it seems to work. A hint of panic and hesitation flashes across her features when she looks to me with searching eyes. Then, unexpectedly, it dissolves. Not behind the fear I'm anticipating, but underneath something sharp and searing. I'm not sure what she sees exactly or what she's hoping to find in the short while she holds my gaze. All of it merely goes unspoken, and no longer than a minute later, she simply averts her attention back to the window, training it once again at some point outside.
Isabella, please, now's not the time.
It's too late for that, Ash. Give it a rest.
An appeal, spoken in a voice too harsh coming from her. Perhaps unintentional, perhaps one that's already too exhausted of everything going on lately. It's hard not to concede when she takes on that tone, and soon, despite myself, I sigh, tucking away every concern I've been locking around, in favor of trusting her on this, according her the same confidence she has implicitly given me all this time.
All right, okay, if that's what you want. And don't worry, I didn't mean what I said earlier. I won't let anything happen to you.
Her lips briefly turn up in a smile, though none of the cheer reaches her eyes.
Just get this over with, okay? Everyone should be out of the office by now.
Somehow, the uncertainty in her posture makes me wonder if she intended it as some kind of a comforting gesture. Whether it's for me or for her, she doesn't let me find out. Without saying another word, she exits the car. I'm left scrambling and chasing after her. She's already at the side entrance, a hand raised on the car reader beside it, and another poised to push the door open when I catch up to her. Whatever doubt there has been in her face a while ago, it's gone. Seeing her like this makes it easy to believe my worries are unfounded, and things might go smoothly this time.
And where do you think you kids are going?
Oops.
Late. Most offices in this building have already closed up shop for the weekend.
The bloke seems friendly enough, though one can't really tell from his voice alone. He might be the very sort for all I know. Keeping an unconcerned face and aloof air won't hurt, until I've figured out to wiggle us out of this situation.
Just come back on Monday if you have important business.
But from the way Isabella's face brights up, it looks as stuff getting through won't be too much of a problem. He's probably been working here for a few months already then. Maybe around 4 to 6 months max. Otherwise, he wouldn't recognize Isabella or me. At first glance, I haven't shown my face here since I've been assigned to the firm case a year ago. In the first place, none of their security officers ever lost a year in service. The longest was around 7.5? Well, that's not long. I'll give this guy around that before he gets fired or finds a better paying job. For the moment, his too friendly attitude is almost a gift.
Hey, Seb!
Oh, look who we have here. Been a few days since I last saw that ponytail in here, Santiago?
Close enough.
Wait, don't tell me yet. I'll get it right this time. Sanchez!
You were closer the first time.
Drat, I swear it is on the tip of my tongue. I just need a hint to remember.
I take it back. These skis is not going to last past this month. You can even remember a regular employee's name.
Alrighty, I'm sure of it this time. Centillon?
Still a few ways off, Seb.
Isabella, we don't have all night.
No, just let me handle this. Sorry, Seb. Some other time. We're in a bit of a hurry. I just need to get a few things from my cubicle. Important work stuff, you know? Is it okay if we drop upstairs for a sec?
Oh,
have your access card with you, we're good. Not sure if I'm allowed to let your boyfriend in, though.
Who, me?
My what?
Your boyfriend. The guy with you, isn't he?
Working on it. It's a fair observation, if I do say so myself. Needless to say, the silence that descends is both uncomfortable and terribly awkward. I thought the latter's probably coming mostly from me, because in the next second, Isabella laughs. Laughs! Lighter than the ones I've heard from her lately. A comforting sound, really, after seeing her in such a dour mood since this morning. Even as all of it subsides into mere chuckles sooner than I'd like, it's comforting to see that I'm at least partially responsible for it, despite my poor heart being beaten to a sorry pulp.
Oh. Oh, no! No. He's definitely not my boyfriend.
She might as well set it on fire and reduce to dust while she's at it. Frankly, numbers of no's in that sentence alone is a bit too much. Christ, one would have been enough to get the message across. Did she really have to put it that way?
That's impossible! Stop being funny, Seb.
Very defensive.
I'll go on ahead, okay?
She quickly shuffles inside with nothing more than a small wave, leaving behind an even more awkward atmosphere for me to wade through. It would have been bearable if I didn't have to suffer through this strange amusement. Alas, who is me?
Not the boyfriend, but close to it, huh?
Mind your own business.
Kids these days. Good to see her up and about, though. Thought for sure she'd up and disappear like the others.
Excuse me?
You know, stuff in the news.
You mean what happened with Rose Cooper?
If I'm going to be stuck here with him for a while, I might as well try to get as much intel as I can. He may just be a guard, someone with no real authority, but most of the time, people like him are the ones who know more than they let on.
Yeah, but even before that, we've got a couple of good blokes we never saw again.
Really? Those guys could have just resigned for all you know.
Dunno, I only catch tidbits of stuff from over here. Oh, seriously, I heard the branch is getting flushed soon, but that's no excuse for anarchy. Figures why Boss Man's been in an awful temper these past months.
They managed to strike a good deal with the mansion in Ansem, right? That didn't do the trick?
Didn't seem like it. The bloke shouting like no tomorrow again. Wasn't very pleased when Gurley called and asked for another leave yesterday afternoon.
Girly? Isabella?
It's not too surprising, considering she's already been gone for 3 days. And now she's asking for another? Not as a bad thing. It's within her rights as an employee, but Isabella rarely uses her work leaves.
Yeah, poor Lassie if you ask me. She found him a buyer for that mansion after all. The least you could do is be considerate to her after a family member's passing.
Yeah?
Wait, what?
Family members passing. Her father? The rumors, BSC, Ruth Cooper, missing in action employees. All of it ceases to matter in that instant. Almost an instinct, my eyes zero in on the intercom speaker, as if staring daggers at it will show me the man behind the voice so I can see the truth in his face myself.
Oh, you don't know?
No, what?
Nothing. I shouldn't be the one you're asking, and, things might get a bit boring here. No one really wants to hear what a poor old guard wants to say. Why don't you just go after her? As long as you're not looking to create trouble for me, it won't be a problem. You aren't here for that, right?
He's luckily not here to hurt anyone. If I were someone with ill intentions, he might not be smiling at the end of the day.
Well, no, but...
I'll go and unlock that side entrance for you then. Just don't forget to turn off the lights before you both leave, okay?
Hey, wait a second. What do you mean by...
He cuts off the connection before I can finish, and the rest of my question dies in my throat. Soon the latch clicks and the side door swings open. The stout man wearing a uniform, still too loose for him, raised me over from the gap, before he disappears behind the station again. Just my luck. Here I thought I'm going to have to count on whatever Isabella brings with her. Although no matter how much I want to feel happy, something else already taken a firm seat in the forefront of my mind. Is that why she's been acting not like herself today? Since when? Of course, I step into the building and try to push all of these questions as far down as I can. I need to focus. Work is work. But if what I've heard is exactly what I think it is, if it's a sign of things to come, honestly, I don't feel too good about that. It's quite right up to the 7th floor, where the BRC Luxbourne main office is. Seb has been kind enough to switch the guest elevator's power on, just as I'm about to head for the fire exit stairs. Which is a welcome relief. I'm an active guy, but stairs. I don't want to tire out too quickly in case things get ugly. There probably won't be any trouble if the building is quiet, but you never know. I swear the whole place definitely feels eerie at this time of night. Oh, please don't let us show up in an elevator. I hate elevators. But until I've confirmed anything, those are still just stories. Worse things can happen. I need to scare her myself. Staying calm means fewer mistakes.
Oh, I sure am fucking gutsy, especially with what I'm doing.
I'm breaking a lot of floors here. I'm also putting Isabella in a lot of risk. Best thing that can come out of this is that Isabella's right all along. Worst case scenario? 1. Someone finds out Isabella's involvement in this and her boss fires her. 2. I find evidence that would implicate BRC or look right in the crime. And my meddling, if I'm not careful enough, makes it inadmissibly in court. So I'll be honest, I strongly prefer losing my job or facing right over some spirit or ghost or whatever it is. Oh, please don't show when the door's open. I could always work around the problems if former Isabella could also find a better job. BRC never did pay her properly, despite her efforts. But fighting off a phantom? How does one even do that? Do guns even work with them?
Yeah, not going to happen.
But tonight I'm here to fix things. If I do it without leaving a trail, all the better. I'm getting a headache, so I'm going to get this Kid thing, that's what I'm good at. It's so dark. What I'll probably never be good at is finding the proper words when a stitch calls for it. But seeing Isabella's smile form beyond those doors, how she pushes through despite carrying an entirely different burden this time, how she's pretending as if everything's normal, it's difficult not to try. People who have never looked beyond her smiles will never know, never understand. Hell, even Rebecca's probably not yet aware of this. I get it, you have other problems at hand. I've done the same thing plenty of times to protect myself after all. But it's all in her eyes, and once she glances up at the few lights raps I give the door. She wastes no time in leaving the mess of papers on the table and opening it for me. But even her confusion as she takes in my presence barely hides it.
Seb let you in?
The rough edge in her voice rings a whole different tune now that I'm aware why. But knowing is different from hearing it straight from her. I can't simply bring this up, can I? It's not a topic suited for a casual conversation, and I doubt she wanted to talk to me about it. As much as I want to help, there's a distance between us I'll never be able to cross. One that wouldn't even be there if it wasn't for me. Perhaps if I had been more honest years ago, and less of a coward, I might have been able to figures. I can't even do that for the one person I keep telling myself that I care deeply about.
What can I say? I'm a very charming person.
To a rock, maybe.
It's the closest we can get to it, I suppose. The light panda, the fleeting glances, or sometimes the long bouts of silence. And it's enough for me, it is, because even without words, there's comfort. With her, it's easy.
Must be a pretty cool rock then.
Ugh, get over yourself.
Hey now, I deserve some slack here. Today's supposed to be my day off, and yet here I am helping you out.
Helping by standing at the door.
Well, you're not exactly letting me in.
Despite what she says, she moves to block me when I try to enter. She must have expected this. The second we walked up to the building entrance and counted on the night shift guard to bar me from the place. It's reassuring to know she's somehow worried about me, and that it's a bit misplaced at the moment. Besides, her concerns aside, I really can't let her get into the thick of things without me. Not with all of the problems on her plate right now.
Isabella!
Seriously, Ash, Seb might get in trouble for this. You might get in even bigger trouble with your boss.
And you're not? We've already talked about this back at Zach's. It's out of the question.
At least do it for Seb, please. He's a really nice guy. With the way things are going here, he's...
On that I agree with her. Seb's not such a bad fella. Might be a little gas of a job and talks too much, but he means well. I hate to see the guy leave here with a bad record, in case something goes wrong. However, the anxious look she shoots back the table behind her brings an even bigger worry.
Did you find something? Aside from what you told me about yesterday?
Did you find something, darling?
Not yet. I'm not sure. I haven't started going through the files we have in the records room. Just the ones they handed to me in rows.
Let me see.
Wait, Ash!
Isabella, I already promised you that no one's going to get in trouble after we're done here, even Seb. I'll make sure we leave the place clean.
Her hesitation still there, a split second of indecision as she tries to form an argument. Eventually, when nothing comes to mind, she steps aside.
Okay, but we can't take the original files out of this office, clear? Not even a single sheet. We'll just have to make a copy.
Don't worry, that's the plan.
It appears to reassure her. A nod, then shortly she gestures for me to follow. Buzzing to see of cubicles I can't help but fake in everything to office. A force of habit, for the most part. As far as I know, BSC Luxbourne used to own this whole building. Offices in several floors. Once upon a time, when real estate is still a lucrative business for the company in this side of the county, then competition showed up and suddenly everything's not so good anymore. It only got worse as the years went by, so according to the rumors. Now the branch is just this floor, despite what the huge sign in the building's facade says. And frankly, it's not too hard to believe when one looks at the state of this room right now. A number of desks have been cleared out. Personal mementos are scarce as if the employees have gone on an exodus. There'll be the downsizing, probably. Still very subtle. Of course, I shake away all of this when Isabella starts handing me the papers she's been looking through. Focus, Frey, focus. There's no point in whining or dwelling any longer on it. That's why we're here in the first place. To find out what the real deal is, the old-fashioned way. Isabella's presence is a whole other blessing too. I couldn't imagine how long this would take if I pushed going in here alone.
Is this everything? Where are the documents you mentioned?
Still locked up in the records room. Do you need them now?
Bring them here. Everything that has to do with the mansion's sale. Even those who worked on it during the renovations. The cleanup. Everything. Including your mandatory sign-in sheets.
It's nothing to bring up, but At least it elicits a laugh from her before she heads for the records room. She remembers, and no matter how weak the sound of it is from her usual ones, it's a welcome thing to hear. It reminds me of Isabella I know is still in there. She returns minutes later with a thick stack of folders and binders. For the next half of the hour, we work in complete silence while we dig into everything compiled in the folders. Not an easy task considering how thick the whole thing is, but there's two of us. In fact, Isabella does most of the work, sorting the contracts, the employee list, and stuff we won't need into a neat pile. Just the files of the restoration alone makes up a stack of papers that's an inch thick. Third-party service providers hired by the masonry, radiators, woodworking, plasterwork, slate roofing, and a whole bunch of other things are well documented. Hell, every single contractor who worked on the project were listed individually, even if they were just there to do the plumbing. It's a high profile and a high cost estate, well, alright. But with the scope comes the loopholes. Means plenty of room to hide something in if there's something fishy going on. All I have to do is find a pattern, and it doesn't take long. Upon closer glance, despite the original owners shouldering the renovation cost, it'll be surprising if they've managed to break even on the Ermengarde Mansion. What with the additional expenses for the open house, the commission for the agents, and other overhead fees? Alright. At one point, the negotiations to get it listed under our PRC's name almost broke down to some disagreement about the listing price. The owners wanted to be rid of it as quickly as possible while keeping the word at a profitable level. PRC was insisting on a higher amount, double what the appraised suggested. This, plus the rumors that their branch is closing. PRC Luxbourne really is in the red, and the sale of the mansion could have easily been a desperate move to keep the branch afloat.
No wonder the final sale happened as fast as it did. Did you know about this?
No, I don't think she did, mate.
No, they took it off our hands after I submitted the final documents for the sale. I didn't even know until I read this. I'm not sure if Rose did. I've only been given the key to the records room after she... Anyway, my point is, they've kept all the files from me. Rose was the one who compiled everything from our side, and even then, she was probably not aware of this. There's only so much they let us know. After that, they just told us to wait for our commission, and that the legal team would handle the rest. The rumors are true, huh?
Ship is sinking.
Seems so.
Jeez, this place is just unlucky. Going bankrupt while the rest of this crap is happening. But this isn't what we're looking for. What we need is the who. The people aside from Isabella and Cooper involved in this business with the mansion. And the how they are now. We can't do much with the outside contractors. They won't be on file. The employee list, on the other hand, even with 2 people working to the pile, the whole task still takes quite a while. It's a quarter of an hour later when we put down the papers with a sigh and move on to the clients upon Isabella's insistence. For that, the sign-in form from the open house comes in handy. Something that gives me a laugh when I spy the fake name I wrote on one of the sheets. What name would you give
Why'd I
yourself?
even pick this name? It sounds so lame.
What name would you pick? Ashley? Ashley? I'll take
What
some
name?
five.
Nothing important. Just focus on those papers you have. We need to finish this soon, before Seb suspects anything.
I really think it's this one, number 5. She snatched the paper away before the thought of hiding it occurs to me. Not that there's much secret in it. Isabella found me that afternoon anyway, but still.
Ashley?
I was right. I've been careless that day. tailing Luke Wright without confirming where they were headed off to. While the butler terribly efficiently in keeping the Wrights' engagement from the public eye, there are other ways if only I've given it the time of my day. In retrospect, I've been too eager, too impatient to find something that'll crack the case and be done with it. Maybe my failure goes as far back as the day of the open house, not throwing the party last night.
Yeah, well, I was pressed for time.
Seriously, Ashley? Were you even trying?
Oh, come on. You didn't even notice I was the one who wrote it down.
Of course I wouldn't. Only an idiot would use his real name.
It worked, though. Admit it. It's genius. Who would have thought, huh?
She responds with all of her eyes, then drops the matter entirely by shoving the paper back to my hands. Relapse back to our respective tasks afterwards, wordlessly skimming through everything. Read, set aside, get another one. Looking back at the signing sheet, I spot Luke Wright and Helen Wright listed up top. But I didn't know about them already, of course. Was getting through the list, a name immediately comes to my attention.
Madeline Williams.
Madeline Williams.
Something wrong?
Huh? No, just that I remember this girl listed here.
She frowns, moves a seat closer and takes a careful read of the sheet. There's a long moment before she speaks up again, but from the way she tenses, she appears to be expecting the worst already.
What about her?
She was with me, in the group following Cooper, when we toured the upstairs part of the mansion, I mean. Rather loud one, especially when we took a peek into the attic. Kept talking about the ghost stories the whole tour.
Then, do you think she's...
She was reported missing 3 days after.
There was a ruckus at the precinct today, her family filed it. Threats were naturally given at the lack of progress days later. Desperate ones. I got goosebumps. Her family's willing to shell out all the cash they have just to find her. To no avail, unfortunately. Officer Benjamin has been in a bad mood ever since he spoke with them. But what can he do? What can we do? He's tied. We're all tied. There's only so much we're able to do with everything that has been shoved into our hands recently.
She still hasn't been found. It's already been a week.
Isabel makes no further comment aside from a nod. Instead, she sits back on her chair with a distant look in her eyes, her hand balled into a fist as she struggles with her frustration. Or maybe it's anger, but the moment doesn't last too long. Soon her grip loosens and she folds her hands back on her lap. Her expression, however, it's one I've seen too many times in the mirror. What does one say to a person burdened not by one loss, but many? Who carries it in her shoulders like a badge of shame? I've yet to find the answer to that myself. Until then, the only way is forward. Press on to see where our attempts at fixing our mistakes might lead us. And despite my own doubts, a glimpse of that look on her face is enough reason for me. I can't just give up. There's too much at stake, too much to lose. With a renewed focus, I continue. On the third and last sheet, I spot another one. Beatrice Wilde, one I recall from the newspaper obituaries, died of a heart attack. And of her correspondence expressing condolences to her family confirms as much in the files. Passed away at age 74 in her sleep.
She's at that age. It certainly could have been a natural death.
Right? I'd like to believe so. But 3 more letters turn up when I rummage through the stack. At least something more than foreboding feeling in me. They're all addressed to families of clients who have passed away in the past week. Regardless, these go into the pile of things worth looking into after our visit here, along with William's info sheet. There are just so many names, so many faces, each one I've seen that day, and here I am wondering if they're all alright. It isn't a selfish thought that brings the question to mind. Rather, it's the logic that if more of them are still alive, the more people I can choose to question. Nothing concrete yet, of course. These are just speculations, but we're making progress. Once done with the signing in sheets, I stash it along with the growing pile to my left and pull out as many of the other documents Isabella has already prepared for me. We're working through the employee list now, those who have been assigned to the mansion. Because of Isabella, if Isabella was believed, if what she's seen and what happened to Rose Cooper is because of that letter, I need to know everyone who has possibly read it aside from the three of us. If they've been noticing strange things too. For all I know, these may have just been a terrible coincidence. Although the toll of that starts to diminish as we dig into the PRC company files. 50 minutes later, the stack close to my elbow has risen 5 to 21 different dossiers. Client and employee documentation. People have either visited the open house or worked on the property in some capacity since letter discovery. Turns out there were 2 more employees who handled the mansion directly, aside from Cooper and Isabella. Christian Sai, the reality specialist, and Mark Julius John Marie, the state appraiser.
This C guy, he was in custody just the other day.
Really? Sir John has been looking for him. He stopped reporting to work a few weeks ago. Are you sure it's the same person?
Yep, this is him. Folks at the precinct said they went to his house after a noise complaint. They found him just acting all crazy. Had to take him in when he started getting violent. He kept screaming about a woman.
Ooh. Immediately she stiffens. I don't want to bring it up or imply a connection to Isabella's story, but that is exactly what happened.
It was driving the guards mad, but he didn't last too long in there. A few hours in, and he just started bashing his own head against the wall, and, well, it was messy, to say the least.
Oh no, we had no idea. Is he okay? HR just marked him as AWOL because none of their calls would get through.
He's in the hospital right now. I heard they're putting him into a psychiatric ward as soon as he recovers. He's still a bit unstable.
Jean-Marie, on the other hand, his employee file notes his date of leaving, and even when his final payment had been given. Along with it, there's a letter to his family about the appraiser being found dead in the office. Communication is hush-hush, and there's mention of a compensation if they don't talk about it to the media. Inspector Abigail has often scolded me for not reading the reports on a regular basis, but I try to keep up to date as much as I can. When I do, I make sure I'm aware of the gist of what's going on in my city. This never reached the police ears or the health of safety and executive.
Do you know about this guy?
One glance at her says everything. They've hidden it from the media. They've kept it from the police. It's not surprising this also be a secret from someone of Isabel's position in this company. Fuck.
Rose was looking for him last week. We haven't heard anything from him either. Until now. They never mentioned this to us.
Business going under and someone dies while working here? Of course they want to keep it quiet. It's bad publicity. This whole thing is just getting freakier by the minute. Nevertheless, I hand the files to Isabel to make a copy.
The pages with their names, addresses, and contact numbers will do. We'll start with the ones who live within the city.
Sometimes there are things you really can't just brush off as mere coincidence. In my line of work, once a pattern pops up, it's only right to be suspicious. Especially the thing with Sai. It hits too close to the stuff my own friends have been telling me.
All of this?
It's considerably thinner than the one she brought in, yet somehow the way she hugs a full disclosed herself makes it seem heavier. like she's hanging on to it in the same manner one will latch on to a lifeline.
Only the noteworthy ones.
And those that might still be alive. Might. She doesn't need to know that.
We can't check the outside contractors, but the guys with the direct connection to BRC and the people who attended the open house should be enough. We don't have time to see how everyone's doing, especially if what you said is true.
For a second, she appears about to argue, then quickly decides against it and hides it away before anyone reads the question in her face. Then in a too abrupt motion, she turns towards the copier and gets to work. Soon a machine constant drum fills the air around us. I keep myself busy cleaning up the mess we've made. The lack of talk is awkward, to put it mildly, disturbing at worst. I've gotten so used to letting her just babble away whenever it's just the two of us. I could tell, however, she wants to do more. She wants to fix this mess herself, and that desire makes her angsty. But at the same time, she's learning how not to be impulsive or stubborn, exactly as I've told her yesterday before agreeing to any of this. Or maybe these so-called changes have always been with her. Dire situations have always pushed people to change, after all. Although seeing this happen in front of me only makes it difficult to find the proper thing to say. In an atmosphere this tense and charged, what is left for us to talk about? Certainly not the news. What's worse is when you only realize all of this is in hindsight, right after you've already ran your mouth off.
You know, for a house your company seems to be in a hurry to sell, they still made quite a fortune out of it. Look at this. 1, 2, 3... 6. Are you sure they're planning to give your entire share for this? This isn't a small amount, especially given the usual cut. And their accounting department isn't in the greatest shape either.
Even if they don't, it's not like someone still needs it.
So it is a fauna, and there's a reason why people don't let me talk. Silence once again descends throughout the room, denser compared to the ones we've shared tonight. Behind me I can still hear her movements, sharp and precise while she feeds the originals to the machine. Then with one last click all of it stops. Her feet shuffle lightly against the floor when she moves away. Something creaks softly, probably the table, as she settles her weight against its side. But this time an apology is already at the tip of my tongue, but...
Belle,
Papa's gone, Ash.
Yeah, the feeling didn't mean that was going to be a father. So hard. The window scanned few seconds. Everything between us shifts as the gravity of her words sinks. Right then and there, something harsh and immovable rises between us. Death is something I'm familiar with. Almost 10 years in the police force, and it's impossible not to be acquainted with it. But this is different from those dead bodies we examine in forensics. A far cry from the victims we found on a bad investigation. These I could easily distance from myself from. No emotional attachment, no need for pretense. Yet somehow I still find myself grasping for things to tell her. Any words of comfort that'll dull the pain. Because even without looking at her, her grief feels palatable enough. Her pain, immutable weight hanging over us. So gently I offer to tell me about him.
when?
Huh? When what?
Your dad. I mean, when did you find out?
She doesn't answer. Not immediately anyway. For a long moment a hush simply stretches out before us, spanning across the seconds we let pass while we both simply stand there waiting. Eventually, she exhales, lightly, mute enough that I might have missed it, had I not been paying attention to her every movement.
Yesterday, around 3 in the afternoon there, Mama called. She told me he passed away in his sleep, and I guess I can take comfort in that, huh? But Papa wasn't in any pain when...
She trails off, releases another ragged breath hidden underneath her chuckles, each one mirthless, happy with nothing but sorrow. Then she falls into silence, and for all my attempts at lightening her burden, I am suddenly at a loss. Reassurance could only do so much, when her only reason for staying here has suddenly been taken from her. A hope yanked from under her feet right after it was generously given. And without that, without the one person who pushes her to endure all the shit they're going through, she is going through, means nothing but a struggle. What does one say to a person fraying at the edges, slowly wearing thin and breaking? Are words even enough? What right do I have anyway? I cannot give her anything, apart from lies that change me as a person and affections she may or may not even want for herself. Because no matter how easy she has warmed herself into our lives, how immutable her presence has become, her own heart will always yearn for something else. For home.
Tell me about him.
Huh? About what?
Your dad. Tell me about him. Anything. Just talk. Say anything you want. Doesn't matter what it is. I'll listen.
Silence again, as if she's testing the weight of my question, for what purpose it is, for a reason even I can't say right now. After a while, though, she starts, reluctantly, her voice hitching, faltering and stumbling on each syllable as she chews her words. A rough start, but soon it steadies, and along with it, to keep company to stories from childhood and memories she's fond of. Are the tears. Despite this, in spite of the grief choking her words off, the hurt closing her throat and the sobs wrecking her little form, she continues, like the mere act of speaking is a relief in itself. A release. She tells me of her father, the very person who named her, how she looked up to him, how she was a bit of a tomboy growing up in her attempts to imitate him, and how the man encouraged her to pursue what she really wanted, perhaps even the only thing she ever did for herself, having grown up not wanting anything more than food to put on the table.
He told me I don't have to listen to them, that I can do what I want. Every day, he'd wake up at 4, Ash, because he'd earn more that way. And every single time, he'd give them to me. Whatever extra he earned, he'd hand them all, so I'd have something to use for my paintings. And you know what? Back home, just a good tube of paint costs almost as much as what we spend for food the whole day. But he'd always set something aside. Told me he wanted to see my paintings in a museum one day.
She pours all of it out, every little thing she loved and admired about him. Like this, it's easy to see why she has gone to such great lengths for him, why she abandoned her dreams, why she went against his wishes just to grant him another chance at life. Others will say it's her warmth that draws people to her, or her cheer. Neither are wrong, but neither is the whole truth to her either, because those who have never bothered to look beyond the surface will never see it. See her. See someone earnest, someone who has always meant well, despite her underlying stubbornness. This is how she loves. Warm, steadfast, unflinching. You never meet many people like her, not in my line of work, not of the kind of people I've had to deal with. Always with something to hide, always with something to lie about. Eventually, when you run across so many of them, you change. You become like them. In many ways. For a lot of reasons. She's the kind of person I want to be and be around with. Who made me feel I am still worth something.
He didn't want me to leave. Said, begged that I should finish my studies first. In the end, I couldn't couldn't even grant him that one request. I'm a terrible daughter, aren't I?
You're not.
Huh?
You're not. I can't speak for your dad. I haven't even met the man. But I know you're not.
I'm not entirely sure where I'm going with this. The remark just came out. Now I'm stringing all of these together as I go. But one thing is certain. None of what I'm about to say is a lie.
The Isabella I know is a total klutz, but I've never seen anyone work as hard as she does. She's the type who wears her heart on her sleeve. Though it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's always in the right place. She's intimidated by a lot of stuff, but she knows how to appreciate the smallest things in life. Frankly, you've caused us no small amount of trouble since you barged into our lives. But when I'm with you, all of my worries seem trivial.
Heat has already crept up my face when the turn this whole thing is about to take Rickesters. Before I blurt the rest of it out, declare feelings I'm not even ready to reveal to anyone, much less to her, my hand comes up to smell the rest of it. The embarrassment quickly takes the reins before I can completely clamp my mouth shut.
And I'm pretty sure Zach and Becca think the same way. You have a nasty way of growing on people like that, and you know what? We got everything we needed in here. I'll just wipe the security recordings and we're good to go. While I'm at it, you better wipe the snot off your face. And you don't look very nice when you're balding like that.
Hastily look at everything. The personal files, client documents, sales agreement and contracts. Anything my hands could reach. In record time, all of it has been stacked in a neat pile. Ready for storage. I'm heading for the records room not a few seconds later. Wherever that is. It should be an easy find, unless this place is a maze of some sort, which I highly doubt. Still beats staying here and seeing the look on her face. Crap. Really, her anger is still bearable. I can take that. Doing the glow as she stands my way.
So, yeah, I'll go get the security videos and put these back where you pulled them from. Man, these are heavy, you know?
Ash, it's just paper. You don't even know where I...
Oh, no, I can handle this. Easy as pie. And, yeah, security cams, tapes, videos, cams. Yeah, I'm off.
A rejection at this point? Maybe. Maybe not yet. It's getting really quiet. Too quiet, don't you agree? Okay. So getting the files back to the PLC archive room is a kinch. With the documents back in their proper places, I lock the door behind me, locking it twice just to make sure. Now on the next order of business, removing the evidence of our little execution in here. Or at the very least, the part showing what we've been doing during the past hour. Can't have our faces plastered on the security footage, showing us breaking the law as it were. I'm gonna have to wipe the data for Isabella's access card entries too. Surprisingly, finding the security room proves a breeze. What will be tricky is getting inside. I'm having goosebumps because it's just so quiet. The fact that no one has walked out during the whole time we've been here means the room is either empty or the security sounds asleep. I'm banking more on the former. If they're cutting corners and firing agents, I have no doubt they've fired the guys stationed here. If they have anyone watching the monitors in the first place. It's a matter of commanding for establishments. Just leave security recordings indefinitely and only check the footage if something actually happens. Just to check, I press my ears against the door, listening for a sign of anyone occupying the room. After a long minute and nothing, I give the knob a few rattles.
Standard lock and key. Should be easy enough to pick.
We have lockpick sets, but those are only to be used if necessary, and with a search warrant. Even then, it's a skill set rarely needed. Subtlety isn't on a cop's priority if they have authority to search the premises. Bolt cutters and brute force are the favored methods. If those fail, you call a locksmith. Me? I prefer the good old hairpin trick when those options aren't available. Besides, they're easy to hide and store for emergencies. Rolling my hand through my hair, I pull a pair of bobby pins. 2 of these and I can just about open any standard lock. One makes a lever and the other makes a handle. I won't call it a complex skill, but it certainly takes time and a lot of practice to successfully pick a lock. Good thing I've practiced with them for a bit in my college years. I learned more when they're accessible and standard issue for a law enforcement officer. A wiggle here, a click there, and I managed to seize all the pins in the locking mechanism soon enough. With a slight turn of the knob, the security room ripe for the picking. Come here. Oh no. Oh no. I get goosebumps. No. Do I see a blur? Do we see a blur? Please no. The room's order hits me first. Oh no, no. A sharp nauseating stench, as if someone has accidentally spilled a gallon of bleach in the room. When was the last time you opened this place? The last got me die as well.
Ugh, this place smells awful. Jesus, it's worse than the forensics lab on a bad day.
I don't wanna. This is probably because of a badly botched effort to clean the place up. Even in the dark, I can spy dark stains on the walls. I really don't have the time to try and just ketchup or soda right now. But I have this strange gut feeling who the mess might belong to. As expected, the security personnel mans the office of CCTV controls, and the standalone TVR setup is open for anyone. Normally I'd have a heap of things to say about this sloppy security setup. Right now, negligence makes the whole task of erasing evidence easier.
No fuss, no muss.
The next one should be the access card data. Hopefully getting into their computer won't be too much of a hassle. Everything up to now has been smooth sailing. There have been hiccups, I'll give it that, though it does nothing to dampen the good mood I'm in. Once I shift my attention to the machine sitting next to the DVR setup, all of it swiftly evaporates. I am no computer buff, but I can definitely recognize one more than a decade old. Simply looking at it makes me feel younger. With a happy sigh, I power it up and mentally prepare myself for a slow slog. Slow apparently means an understatement here. It takes a whole 3 minutes for the thing to start up. The OS hasn't even started loading, and in my boredom, I start inspecting the live feeds from the cams. Only 2 words, one for the view outside. Everything seems to be in order there, and the other for main workspace where? No. It's a fleeting glimpse. A ghostly glance, but the sight of it stops me. No. The image is a bit blurry. Saying that right in the middle of the room. No. Isabella. But one of the cubicles I can make out the form of a...
What the hell is...
I don't get too far into that line of thought. No few seconds of my words have slipped out without any sort of warning, while I'm still trying to make sense of what it is. Oh, the figure moves. Oh, come on. Isabella. A moment of paralysis hits me when she stops running from the camera, like a damn rookie goes still in the face of danger. Go get Isabella. I definitely haven't been trained to handle the supernatural. This is one, isn't it? Yeah. And get salt, get iron. Oh, fuck. Her eyes bore into me. The malice in them, piercing. Even beyond the screen, it's enough to make me go numb. Only to more clutching the floor when my hand accidentally takes a swipe at it. Snaps like my trance. Remind me that I am not the only one here. Isabella! Yeah, Isabella! It seems she hasn't noticed anything. Am I the only one seeing this? In any case, whatever's happening, have to get her out. Getting my wits, I quickly reach for my phone. You're not going to call, are you? It takes all 2 seconds before she answers, but there's no time for relief.
Ashton? Did you really have to call? We're practically on the same floor.
No, she
Get
knows.
out of there.
What? What are you...
Out. Get out. I'll meet you in the elevator. Just
You're creeping me out, Ash.
get yourself out of that place now.
Without a second thought, I back away from the controls from the room, ready to be done with this place. But before my foot even moves, she disappears.
Son of a...
Oh my god! Oh, it's the ring all over! Instinct instantly takes over, and my hand quickly reaches for the gun at my side. Only to meet empty air. A mistake that cost me a few precious seconds while the paperwork I've brought with me threatens to scatter everywhere at the same time. Go away! Gathering everything in myself once more, with no weapon to protect myself, a sense of self-preservation kicks in next, and I launch towards the door. Jesus, I sprint across the office, slide down to look back. Isabel already waiting in front of the elevators by the time I make it out of the office. Rory creases her eyebrows upon glancing at me, but I don't have time to answer the question in her eyes. As soon as I reach her, I grab her arm, practically thrown the 2 of us into the open elevator and slam the button for the ground floor. Come on, come on. A sigh of relief escaped from me when the elevator starts to descend. Oh, the clicking noise fades off into the distance. Beside me, Isabella shifts smooth the stack of papers on her arms while she takes in my appearance. Concern her eyes, so all I offer her is a small gesture of my hand, while I attempt to compose myself. Please don't come in the elevator. In. Out.
Why are we in such a hurry?
We need to get out of this place. Did you get everything?
Yeah, it's all here. But really, you don't look too good. What's wrong, Ash?
I'll be fine. I was in the security room. From the monitors, there was a fucking...
No! Will she be here too? The rest of what I'm about to say dies on my tongue when the elevator stops and the door's open too. Oh, fucking hell. This moment passed while we both take in our surroundings. Confusion understandably there.
Oh, come on! They should just replace this whole thing.
No, I'm quite sure I pressed for the ground floor.
Ah, shit! Well, it's just as Isabella said. The elevators always did have problems when I visited in the past. Often she becomes so angry whenever we try to get to the floor, and she'll have to repeatedly smash the bottom of the elevator to even move. That was always good for a laugh. I wasn't too worried then by now. What do you have to do? See, I'm at this closed elevator. Beyond the light's reach, the noise echoes in my ears, along with the rapid pounding in my chest. Isabella stiffens and her eyes grow wide as the sound. Gingerly, she reaches up and grabs the dam of my sleeve and grips it. Hard, tight enough for her fingernails to dig through. Her eyes searching wildly for the source of the sound, while I stand protectively in front of her.
Ash, did you
Yeah,
hear
please
that?
close the freaking
Anyone
elevator.
there? I can
Yes.
hear you moving from here. Show yourself.
Close the elevator door. No response. No response. Only the sound of something scurrying around the floor, and the walls in slow, deliberate movements. Faint talk, still audible enough to end the hush. Until it stops. No. Let's go into the scares. A moment.
We need to go, Ash.
Yeah, please go. And then... Oh, no! This is my imagination. Against my training, my whole body freezes. Hands still, mid-pressed buttons, eyes going wide while waiting for any sort of movement from further back, and ears straight for the source of the sound. I can even offer Isabella any reassurance, much as I hate to admit it. Dread has speeded into every nerve in my body. Yeah, I know, and mine too, and the best elevator still won't work.
This isn't in my fucking training manual.
I know, what do I have to
Ash,
do?
we need to leave. I know that sound. Ash, please, get the elevator.
Ow! Another series of shuffling against the ground. I laughed, and all of a sudden she's just there. No. Like a twisted spider. She stares at us. A look of hunger in her eyes, and the venom in the twisted manner she smiles. And clearly she has well earned for mere damn fires that have been drowned right into the spider.
Ashton!
Damn it!
Without warning, she moves, mocking me with each unhurried while she takes. I'm at her mercy.
Ashton, the door!
I don't see her at all. Our lives are in the hands of a crummy elevator, literally hanging between life and death. We're not going to die here. On a damn elevator. Oh, 9. I'm pressing 9. Why is it not working? 6, 8, 3, 9, 1, 5, 3, 9, 4, 8. Shit! No. Why is it not working? Let's do it again. Elevator, come on. So 8, 2, 7, 9, 4. Ah, come on. 5, 2, 1, 8, 3. Alright, 2, 5, 4. No, 3, 1. And we tried again. I'm not gonna try. Close your eyes. Try it again. We can do this. Come on. And elevator. 6, 2, 5, 8, 1, 1, 3, 9, 7, 2. Why it's going so fast? 7, 1, 5, 9, 6, 9, 3. No. 7, 3, 4, 2, 6. No. It's so fucking hard because I cannot use this side. I cannot use that side. So fucking hard. Damn, elevator. 4, 3, 3, 2, 9, 1, 8. Alright, 4, 1, 3, 8, 2, 7, 2, 1, 9, 6, 9, 1. I'm going to do this brightly. 8, 7, 3, 4, 2. Oh, Jesus. This is so hard. Really. So fucking hard. Oh. If I could use just outside, easy, but wow, it's just so hard. But oh my gosh. As if a divine power has heard me swaying up a storm in my head. The dose goes just as that thing looms near. Soon the elevator. The blasted thing is headed up. Please don't not make me do this again. Isabella's knees buckle in relief. In 2 fakes, she's hugging herself without any care for the mess of papers and folders she has dropped on the floor in panic. Oh my god, my voice. She draws in one naked breath after another, each one bringing with nothing but relief. And this is the most I've been tired my whole damn life. Not during training when my superior first asked me to drop 100, not after a stakeout, but after smashing a fucking elevator button repeatedly. I slumped the ground beside her, worn out, but I don't let myself feel relief again. Not without fear. Isabella seems to be of the same mind as she looks to me. Still, I find myself sharing a shaky laugh with her.
We're okay. We're fine. Right?
Yeah, we're good. Alive. Fuck, we should have taken the goddamn stairs.
Twice I've seen it. Thrice I've included the party. Unless I'm tripping. Unless I'm tripping balls without realizing it. There's no doubt in my mind that this is actually happening. I don't want to believe it. But with the truth staring at me in the face, it'll be stupidly to deny the reality of the matter. Soon the lift hits the ground floor. We hide out of the building, Zeb sound asleep when we pass by his station. However, in the face of what we've seen, everything I faced tonight, we really can't care less who will still see us on our way out. The sooner we get away from this place, the farther the better. I'm just not sure if that also means being safe. She almost got us, damn it! The fucking thing almost had us! Shit! It was only by luck that we managed to get the fucking elevator on stock. Had the blasted thing not worked in the last second, I need some air. I'm getting dizzy. Fresh, breathable air that doesn't stink like death and gore all at once. I'm panicking. Christ, I'm losing focus with another person here. I can't afford it right now. Isabella hasn't said anything, but I know she's more shaken than I am. I can't lose it. There's another person depending on me.
Remember your training, Frey.
Another deep breath soon, and soon I'm inside the engines and driving us off. That little incident somewhere open would be good. Someplace I won't get trapped. Oh my god, it's so scary. Luxbourne Park brings a welcome relief though, only by some. The chill that has seeped in my bone is still there, furling and unfurling underneath my skin. If I don't move, if I don't busy myself with anything, soon my brain will go haywire. It's the last thing I want to happen when there are plenty of things to do. But this already answers all of it, doesn't it? Those stairs? You might be hurt, but oh my god, really. I'm still recovering from the scene. I don't know about you, but Jesus. So fucking scary, y'all. What's really scary? Oh, okay. Just how many copies of the letter are out there? Isabel can't have the only one if other people are also getting cursed. Could it be that one she has shown us is just one of the 5? Maybe even more. That whole past is to 5 people business is ridiculous, but at this point, is it still? All in all, we found 21 people who might have read the letter. 7 of them deceased, 8 if we count Cooper. And that's only with what we can find right now. We have no idea how the contractors and specialists hired from outside the company are doing, if we're in any way affected. How many more people are suffering? How many are missing? How many are dead? Can I still even blame the whites for this? If anything, they might be in danger as well. I don't think I can wish a curse upon anyone, no matter how big of a douchebag Luke Wright is. There's also that woman. How do we get out of this mess? How do we get away from her? Shit. Still many things need to look into. Yet all my body wants to do is pace, burn out whatever excess energy there is in me.
Ashton, I'm getting dizzy. Will you sit down?
It's the first time Isabella has said anything. She's been sitting quietly since we dropped here. Better and less distracting than watching her nervous habits, I suppose. She certainly seems calm now. Too calm, in fact, for someone who has just seen something terrible. But it's been more than a week for her already. People do get desensitized to things at some point. Even someone like Isabella, who knows what's going on inside her head or inside mine. There are too many and none of them would sit still.
I'm not going crazy, am I? I saw that. I'm pretty sure I saw that. I didn't inhale anything weird. Just shit. Shit. Isabella, please tell me that wasn't...
Am I not expecting my turn to her Smith? One that she could barely contain.
You're laughing.
Haha, because now you believe her.
You're laughing. Why are you laughing?
I'm not quite sure what she sees in my face, but in the next second it all suddenly burst out from her. I'm so...
I'm so sorry. It's just that you should have seen the look on your face back there.
Yes, right. Sure. I'm not the one who's panicked. You almost ripped my arm off.
Yeah, but...
Isabella, this isn't funny. We could have ended up dead.
I know, I'm really sorry. But this is just too precious to miss. You really lost your shit for a moment there.
You're trying to get back at me, aren't you?
Well, I'm not the one who kept calling someone scaredy cat for years. How does it feel?
Not good.
I'm not scared.
Really? Because it doesn't seem that way to me. At all.
I'm not, all right? I'm just... I just don't know what to do right now.
Immediately after the moment passes, replaced by another tense silence. Laughter dies on the lips as everything sinks in. Then deep shit, and it has finally got up and hit us like a ton of bricks. Hit me more than anyone, because she has been warning us for this since day one, and I'm the first person who brushed it off. Despite that, she still reaches out to me, tugging at my sleeve almost desperately. Her hands are trembling, and there's a tremor in her voice when she speaks. Without the cheer, only fear remains. One that she has been burdened with from the beginning.
We're still going to do something about it, right? Not just stand around and let that thing get us.
Unexpectedly, she leans her forehead against my arm, and her grip on my sleeve tightens. There's desperation in there, a quiet plea.
Don't want to lose anyone anymore, Ash.
I wish I could give her that promise, but with so many unknowns, so many things I don't understand about this, how could I? Why she still trusts that I can do something about this baffles me. It all feels wholly undeserved, considering the way I've treated her. Yet, despite my reluctance, I find myself returning her all in kind. A grasp, warm and light enough for comfort. Not a promise, but the closest thing to it.